Welcome back to another episode on the See Through It podcast. I am your host, Brian Sells. Let's make sure I got this. Okay, there we go. I'm your host, Brian Sells, and tonight we are doing a community episode. This one, as you see it at the bottom, accountability. What is that? But before we get into the episode, want to make sure everyone knows that my title is going to be in pink for the rest of this month for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So make sure that if you can donate or show your support by wearing pink, do that. I don't have any pink on right now, but as you see, my title is in pink. Also, I was supposed to have a guest tonight talking about some issues that are going on in the schools, but we couldn't make that happen right now. But we're working on that. Mr. Hubbard is going to be one of my guest co-hosts. We're going to be talking about. I'm in a Facebook group called Parents versus Bullies, and there's a lot of things going on in the South Bend Community Corporation schools. A lot of things that are going on that are not being addressed, that are not being handled, that are not even being talked about. Today, we're going to talk about something on those lines about the things that are not being addressed or things that are being enabled. So let's go ahead and get into that. Let's go. Oh, sorry. Got to backtrack one more time. Well, I guess I could do that at the end. We'll just do that at the end. So today we're talking about accountability and wondering what is that? Does that even exist anymore? From just standing and watching everything play out, it seems like it doesn't exist anymore. I did an episode at the beginning of school before the kids went back to school, and I was trying to put more ownership on the kids to take more responsibility. Also, putting a little bit on the parents to make sure their kids are taking responsibility, to make sure they're giving their support to the school so there's no issues. Well, we fast forward, and I'm not going to, we just fast forward, and something happened. It happened within my family, and it took place at a school. I'm not going to mention the school or the family member, but something happened, and it hit me. It rocked me to my core. It rocked me to my core. And to see that there's no response, there's no there's nothing taking place. There's nothing happening. And then to see that, and then to see that the phrases that are used are, well, that was a good kid, he's a good kid, or she's a good kid. And it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder, like, what does that even mean? If this act has happened, what does he been a good kid or she been a good kid have to do with any of that? At what point in time were they a good kid? Because I'm a firm believer that behavior is learned. I'm a firm believer that things start off small and then it escalates. I'm a firm believer of that. I don't believe that things just pop off, just all of a sudden someone wakes up and just snaps. There's things that lead up to it. When there's the shooting that happened in Virginia Beach, that guy just didn't shoot. He had been looked over for promotions for years and years. The boss or the managers was trying to get him fired for years, and he just snapped. So there's things that lead up to these actions that take place. No one just wakes up and, no, there's little details. Maybe we're not paying attention, but there's little things that happens, and then boom, here we are. So something happened that rocked me to my core, and And now we're here tonight doing an episode on accountability. And no one wants to take blame. I'm not even sure that, because I guess blame is an ugly word. Don't blame me. No one wants to be blamed for anything. But also, no one wants to take accountability. Where do we start it at? The issues that are going on in the school, it's crazy. The bullying, the behavior, is getting out of control. No one sends their child to school to get a call back to find out that their child's life might be in danger, or something horrific has happened to that child. Like, that's not on your mind when you send your child to school. You're sending your child to school to learn and come back home and do homework and go to sleep and repeat the same thing over again. But that's not what's happening anymore. Our schools have become a war zone, a factory for, not a factory, but I don't even know the words to use for it. But I feel like the schools are enabling these kids to get worse, along with the parents and along with that child. Everywhere in groups that I've seen, everyone says it starts at home. Well, if all these people are saying it starts at home, what is being done at home? What is not being done at home? What is not being done at home? I don't understand how kids can continue to go to school, or how parents can continue to send their kids to school and care nothing about what's going on. And then the kids come home and they do whatever they want. There's nothing being done. Who's the parent and who's the child? Who can we blame? Who can we blame? Who should be held accountable for these kids' behavior? As I know from the information that I've gathered, there's the one child is still in school. I know you're like, what is it? What, I can't tell you. To protect the family member, I cannot speak on that matter. Maybe one day as time go on, but I can't speak on it because it angers me. I never would have thought that would have took place. But what is going on? What is going on? Are people not even raising their kids anymore? I talked to an advisor at Ivy Tech, and he said maybe it's the fact that these kids are having kids. So these kids that have these kids, he doesn't even acknowledge them as grown-ups, as parents. He acknowledges them as kids. These kids had kids, and now they're in high school, middle school, and they're buddies. Is that the problem? Kids raising kids. Those kids don't see their parents as parents. Those same kids don't respect anyone. Those same kids don't value anyone. Those same kids don't value themselves. Why is that? And then we send them off to the schools. And then the schools gets them. The school gets them. The schools, I'm going to say, they try to work with them. They try to figure out how can they change the student's life. How can they be a role model or affect change in this kid's life. And then they see that they can't. They don't have any support at home to make sure there's change, to enable some change. They don't have that support. So then the teachers are like, the principal and whoever else are like, oh well. So now this kid is either skipping school becoming a behavior problem in school, cussing teachers out. Because one, he doesn't even respect his own mom and dad. Who is his teacher going to tell him what to do? So now he's cussing out teachers, cussing out other students. But now he's out of school. And now that kid is a 18, 19-year-old, I guess, grown adult, carrying on the same thing, doing the same thing still. He didn't listen to his mom and dad. He didn't listen to the teacher. He's not going to listen to any authority figure in the city. And then boom, hits rock bottom. That's it. That's it. That's the end of it. And the first thing that comes out of these people's mouths, well, he was a good kid. How do you stand there in front of the cameras and announce to the world that he was a good kid when you know that you was raised in a hellion? That you know you enabled all his actions, his or her actions. Basically harbored a criminal. How do you do that? Someone has to start taking accountability. If I'm the schools, I'm calling home. I'm setting up some type of press conference with the news to let it be known these kids are getting out of control. We need more help from the community. What can we do to bridge the gap between the community and the schools? Like, this stuff needs to be done. But they passed a bill where they just passing these kids on through. They don't care. I'm not going to say all the teachers don't care. Well, for the most part, it seems like no one cares. I care because it's affecting my family members. I want to know, how can we fix it? How can we fix it? Parents, you can't even tell another parent something's wrong with their child. Their child is acting out. Because they might jump on you. How does that make sense? If you do it the most respectful way, like, hey, your son, I saw him running around the street with some dudes that we know ain't good, ain't worth nothing, and they jump on you, trying to save your child's life, and you attacking me, trying to help you out, and you attacking me. How is that? But we can't point the finger at no one. We can't blame anybody. No one wants to be blamed, but no one wants to want to take responsibility. I don't know. I'm lost for that one. I don't know. I don't know. I wish someone would give me some insight on this. What would it take to have people take more responsibility for their actions? Why do we as parents not want to make our kids, why do we not want to hold them accountable for their actions? Why do we not want to hold them? Is it too much work to hold that child accountable for their wrongdoings? Is it not worth it? But we love to use, it's a good kid. Everyone throws that around. But what does that mean? Good kid. What does that mean? He's a good kid. I was having a conversation at a dealership that I had to go to today, and they felt the same way. Everyone throws that word around. Good kid. What does that word, that phrase mean? He's a good kid. She's a good kid. That's a good kid. Is it a good kid because it looks clean? I said it. Is he or she a good kid because they look clean? Or what makes them a good kid? Because they smile? What makes them a good kid? Because by my definition, a good kid is a kid that does what it's supposed to do, listens. And we know all kids not going to listen. We know all kids are not going to do what they're supposed to do. We know that. But a kid that is blatantly disobeying the rules that's been told and repeated to them 20 million times, I don't see how you classify that as a good kid. A kid that refuses to do the right thing, how do you classify that as a good kid? How do you do that? We keep using that phrase, and I feel like it does something mentally to a person that knows they're doing wrong. If you keep telling someone, oh, you all right, you all right, you all right, then they're going to believe they're all right, even though they know deep down what they're doing is wrong. But you keep saying, no, you good, you good, you good, you good. You're sending mixed messages. They don't understand that. And then we're like, well, I've done this over and over again. Ain't nobody really said nothing. The only thing they saying is, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. So apparently, I must be good. I must be good. Behavior is learned. And once that behavior is learned, and then we throw on top words of phrases that don't condemn that behavior. We praise the behavior as you're a good kid, you're good, you're good. What do you expect to happen? They're just gonna snap out of it and start doing the right thing? No, it doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. They will continue on doing the thing that they was told is okay, but we know it's wrong. They will continue doing that same thing over and over again until it escalates. The saying is, you give them an inch, they take a mile. After they take that mile, they want to take everything in sight. We can't allow that. Our jobs are to parent. We gotta be the example. We have to be the example. I don't understand why that's so hard to do. If we're not the example, who are they following? Who are they following? Who are they watching? If we're not the example, who are they watching? I see tons of videos where people prop their kids up in front of the TVs and they watching MTV or BET. Got some girl up there twerking nonstop or some nonsense on there, and they absorbing all of that. They're absorbing all of that, just absorbing it all. And then they go and act out what they've been introduced to, what they've been absorbing over the years. It starts at home. If we're not the example, who is? 2 Chainz? Lil Uzi Vert? Who is it? Who's the example? Some guy on the TV? Who? That's our jobs as parents. Whether you're a single mom or a single dad or whatever, it does not matter. That does not give you a pass to not be a parent. Does not give you a pass to allow your child to go to school, mess up everyone else's education mess up everyone else's education, being a hindrance to the teacher and to the other students. That's not right. That's not right at all. I don't for the life of me understand how that even works. But the first thing that comes out of someone's mouth, they in jail or they dead on the ground, it's a good kid. That kid got a rap sheet longer than everyone's arm out there. But that's a good kid. You know what? He could have been a good kid. Maybe at a point in time he was a good kid until you stopped correcting, until you stopped holding him or her accountable for their actions. If we don't hold them accountable for their actions right now, the law will. And we might not like how they handle it. But to protect them from that, we give them the tools to know, hey, that's wrong. Don't do that. Don't go down that road. Stay away from that path. There's a storm up ahead. Turn around. Rethink that. Check yourself. Keep your emotions together. That's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be coaching. We're supposed to be guiding, directing them. Of course, when they get older, they're going to make their own decisions because they feel grown or whatever. But when they're younger and they getting expelled from school, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th grade, like what? And you sitting there like, I don't know what to do. What? What? Get some help. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Things are only going to get worse if we don't nip things in the bud now. If we don't nip things in the bud now. It's okay to correct your child. It's okay. It's not going to kill them. They might have their feelings hurt, but oh well. You think life, when they get outside grown, you think people are going to be worried about their feelings? Like someone's going to hug them and be like, oh, it's okay. The manager just wants you to clock in when you're supposed to clock in. What? People. Yes, they're kids. Yes, they're young teenagers or whatever. All that. Cool. We're supposed to be preparing them for when they become adults. Because the rest of their lives, they're going to be adults. And if you're not preparing them, you're setting them up for failure. Because they're not going to be able to handle the real world. They don't have no structure, no boundaries, no rules. You send them up for a fake world that does not exist. I don't know. I'm just thinking about all the things that I've seen and all the things that I've heard. It's crazy. When I was in boot camp in the Army, all these kids was there and they were all young. They were so undisciplined. Some of them were entitled. Some of them were babies. Some of them felt like they could say what they was gonna do, whatever they wanted to do. They was gonna say whatever they wanted to do or say. They felt like they was big and bad until them drill sergeants showed up. They thought they were in control, that they was just gonna do whatever they wanted to do. And it was a rude awakening. The whole point of boot camp is to break that mentality. Is to instill discipline that they lack. Instill responsibility because they lack that. Accountability. They lacked that. It was always pointing at someone else. No integrity. They were young, young boys. They were 18, 19, 20, 21, something, 22. You had a 24-year-old that acted like he was 10. Because no one at home held them accountable for nothing. No one at home made them do anything. Mom and dad did it all. They couldn't handle someone getting on to them. I mean, they would literally fold up. It was a long process of getting them to change their ways. But they changed. So the ones that was able to adapt and change and get right, became soldiers. Others got kicked out. You're not going to be in the military doing whatever you want to do when lives depend on you to do what you're supposed to do. They got to be able to trust you. They handing you weapons. They teaching you how to become I don't even want to say it. It sounds so bad. I mean, it's not bad. It was a combat MOS, so they teaching you how to do things, and they're trusting that you're gonna be responsible enough to handle that knowledge. You don't want some knucklehead just running around with all this knowledge and don't know what to do with it. The generations that are coming up, or the new generation of kids that are coming up, it's getting bad. It's only gonna get worse if we don't start holding ourselves accountable. If we don't start parenting. If we don't start checking them. I know a lot of people. I want to be friends with my child. I want to be buddy. That's my buddy. That's my little homie. No, it doesn't work that way. I'm sorry. It doesn't work that way. You are the parent. I don't see how you have a conversation with a 5-year-old about something you're telling them to do in the first place. What does that 5, 7, 8, 9-year-old know? 10, what do they know? I can see when they become high school, and then you can have that back and forth, but it's respectful. And they know, okay, I've hit that point where dad or mom is getting agitated, and I just need to go with what's being said. You can't do that with a child. And at that stage, you're supposed to be molding them. You can't be a friend, a buddy with a child that young. You're supposed to be teaching them. And then more advanced teaching when they get into high school, when they get older. And then that back and forth, maybe. Before, I was totally against the back and forth. As I grew up, it was no back and forth. There was no opinions in the sales household. It was dad or mom said this, and that was that. Things have changed. Times have changed. So you want to be able to have that conversation, but that's when they're older. That's when they're older, and they show that they respect the rules, and they show that they can be responsible and held accountable for things that they don't do. You can't have that conversation with someone that thinks they know it all. Have you had a conversation with a person that thinks they know it all? Find someone that thinks they know it all and have a serious conversation, and see how quickly you get angry or agitated or annoyed. You can't do that. Our jobs are to be parents. We want the senseless violence to stop, and the all the bullying and all that nonsense to stop. We got to do better job of parenting at home. We got to do a better job. We got to start holding. We got to hold ourselves accountable. We got to hold them accountable. If the teacher's calling us and letting us know things, and we're just like, that'd be alright. That's what kids do. What? No, that's not what kids do. That's what your bad child is doing, and it needs to be corrected. That's not what kids do. Just because people are doing things, does that make that okay? We got to change the way we think. Got to change. There's so many things that needs to change. We got to change the way we think about things. Just because everyone else is jumping off the building, that's what people do. Let's go jump off a building. What? Stop. That's that that comment's ridiculous. Oh, that's what they do. That's what they do. So, stop it. Fix it. Change it. Put an end to it. And let them know this is not what you're going to be doing. Just because everyone else is doing it doesn't mean you're going to be doing that. I can I I can go on for so long about this because it just irks me. The situation that took place. It like I said, it hurt me to my core. I was so angry. If I didn't hear the little voice in the back of my mind, I would be in trouble. I had to calm down. But no child should have to go through that at school. No child should have to worry about is something like that going to happen to me at school. We gotta parent better. We got to parent better. Start holding ourselves accountable and hold our kids accountable for the things that they do, and stop washing it under the bridge like, it's all right. Live and learn, or whatever people be saying nowadays. It's a kid thing, or they just no. Like I said, you give an inch, they take a mile. Behavior is learned. If it's repeated, it will continue and will get worse. It's crazy how kids can get so many, how people will give so much leeway to a kid, and then when they grow up and they've been doing the same thing for so long, then you want to be like, why are you doing that? What you doing? Well, I've been doing this for so long, no one's corrected me. Family members ain't said nothing to them yet. Ain't no one correcting them. They're still doing the same thing over and over again. I don't know. I accountability. We gotta hold ourselves accountable. We gotta hold our children accountable, and we gotta hold the schools accountable. If we want change in the schools, we gotta hold them accountable. We can't allow them to keep enabling kids to act the way they act in school. Right now, I would have to say this is by far the worst year for South Bend School Corporation. The food, everything is down. All the comments that I've been seeing in the Facebook group that I'm in, the Parents versus Bullies, the stuff that is going on, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But the news is I don't know if the news know, if people are saying that they're telling the news, the they're emailing news people and no one's saying anything about it. People are calling principals and going back and forth with the principal, and nothing's being done. What is going on? Do we not care? Is there only a certain amount of people that care about our kids' futures? The violence is getting out of control. When I was growing up, other parents told on us. People told on us. Because it's not new. It could be. Why does it have to be new, though? If it's not new, that means it's been happening for a while. Does something drastic have to happen before there's change? Do we have to have, God forbid, there's ever a shooting in South Bend, in the schools, but will that be the only thing that shakes the city, that would shake the city up to its core, where we be like, we need to make change? I see you. Like, what will have to happen for people to want change in South Bend schools, in South Bend City, period? Will there have to be a shooting? Like, do we have to have something drastic to happen before something changes? It shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way. I have a daughter that goes to high school. I have a daughter and a son that go to high school. They go to separate schools. Both of them in South Bend. And I'm scared, knowing the situation that had already happened in the family. Like that, that scares me, because I know there's people out there that don't even care about what their children are doing in school, about what their children are doing to other people's kids in school. Because the first thing that comes out their mouth when the camera jumps in front of them, what is what do you have to say about the situation involving your son or your daughter? You know, they didn't mean no harm. They a good kid. What? What are you saying right now? They didn't mean no harm. They was a good kid. We got to change the way we think. We got to hold ourselves accountable, and we got to hold these kids accountable before something bad happens. South Bend is having a bad year already. South Bend is already having a bad year. And I'm not even going to say that on here. We got to do better. We got to change our mindset. We got to change the way we think. We got to do better, or it's only going to get worse. We got to do better. So that's I'm going to leave it at that. On that note, there's so many avenues in this topic. It's so much, and I don't even want to dive into it today. Maybe hopefully I can get another guest to come on and uh, talk about this with me. Maybe to have some rebuttals about whatever I'm saying or whatever, because I know sometimes people get tone deaf, or they tend to block you out after they hear so much coming from one person. So I'm gonna work on getting someone else to come on and have this conversation with me, because it's serious. I have kids, I have nieces and nephews in school, and um, the one situation, like I said, rocked me to my core, and I just got out the army. I'm not in a mindset to be dealing with stuff like that. My mind took me to another place. I was only God kept me from that dark corner. Um, there's too much in this world going on for that type of nonsense, for any nonsense to be taking place at a school. None of that should be happening at a school. Nothing. People should be able to send their kids to school and come back home. Learn what they need to learn and come back home. Not be bothered by some other child acting a fool because no one at home is checking them. Because the teacher can't check a child that's not being checked by his own parents. It doesn't work, folks. It doesn't work. If you ain't listening to your mom and dad, who is this person that you don't even know telling you to do something? It's not going to work. It's not going to work. They not respecting their own flesh and blood. How they going to respect an authority figure that's in the classroom trying to help them learn something to better their lives, to better themselves? I said that's the last bit of that. That's the last bit of that. Um, so like I said, I'm gonna work on getting some different people to come on and have this conversation, because this, like I said, this Wednesdays is gonna be my community based episodes where I'm talking about things that affect the community, and this affects the community. Um, it's good to bring awareness to other things when I can, but like this type of stuff affects the community in school and out of school. These are the people that's going to be, when we're older and we got to go to the stores, these are the people we're going to have to deal with. These are the people that are going, maybe working. I don't know. I don't even know. All right, that's the last bit of that. Anyway, so Wednesday is going to be a base day for community conversations. I'm going to, like I said, work on trying to get some more people so I can have that back and forth, so you don't get tired of hearing my voice and what I'm saying. Maybe you need to hear someone else saying it or whatever. But I'm gonna work on that. Oh, and I hope you've doing the whole episode. I know you've been seeing it. We working. I'm telling you. You see it, the See Through It. That's the brand name. We got some things coming together. We working over here. So, like I said, I made a post. Join the growth or watch us grow. Either way, we growing. Support or don't support. We growing. I like that. Let me go ahead and put this up here, because people, maybe I got them tone deaf right now, but someone else has said it. Let me move it over here. There we go. Like I said, if your child ain't listening to you, you send them to a school, they not gonna listen to the teacher, the principal, to the roving police officer that's in the school. They not gonna listen to him either. I got an episode planned for the police police situations. I got a lot of stuff planned. Excuse me. I got a lot of stuff planned. I'm trying to I'm debating if I want to do it on my own, or do I want to find someone to come on and talk with me about these certain situations, about certain these certain things that's going on. But like I said, we working over here. We got something. Let me. You see the headband. This is a gym. This is my gym wear. We making. I'm coming out with a gym apparel. Soon I'm gonna have my hoodie. I'm gonna have my little coffee mug. We got some things. We cooking up some stuff. So like I said, I would greatly appreciate if you guys could go ahead and share, like, comment. Um, Either way, we gonna grow. We gonna grow. I feel like we got something good going on over here. I feel like I'm doing it the right way. I'm not gonna water this down. When I'm talking about community or when I'm talking about sports, we're gonna have fun with the sports. We're gonna have fun with different other things that's going on. And when it's time to be serious, it's gonna be the hardcore truth. And because in today's media and in today's society, everything is watered down. Everything is sugar coated so it doesn't hurt anyone's feelings. While real stuff is happening and people's feelings are getting crushed, families are being destroyed, kids are being killed, real things are happening. While people are sugarcoating the stuff that's happening. So we're gonna get real on here. It's gonna be real. You see the headband, it's his. See through it. We're gonna see through it, all of it. We're gonna point out the nonsense and we're gonna call it what it is. We're gonna call it what it is. So please go ahead and hit the like, share, comment, join the conversation. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, not Facebook, but Twitter, www.facebook.com/STIPODCAST. Go ahead and follow, like the Facebook page. I need those numbers to get up. Run those numbers up for me. Also, I am still working on the YouTube page, trying to get the subscribers up. I need to get to 100 so I can create that the custom URL so I can post that on here so everyone can know how to get there. I'm still working on my website. What else we got? We got a lot of things cooking. We cooking it. We cooking it up. We're growing. Soon, hopefully, we can hit that 500. If you see it on the board, 500 likes and follows. 500 likes or follows by the end of the year. We got 2 more months. I think we're sitting at 332 followers, 300 and some odd likes or something like that. I don't know, but we're getting close to the goal. So let's make it happen. This is something positive. This is something I believe everyone who cares about something important or who has positive outlook on things can get behind this. I believe that, and that's what we're doing. So the slogan: don't get blinded by the media. Make sure you see through it. Make sure you see through it. I am your host, Brian Sells. This is the See Through It podcast. Until next time. I'll be back Friday. We're talking Notre Dame, USC, LSU, Florida. You see the Florida helmet? Let me see. I can't get my thumb. There we go. I got the Florida helmet. The collection is growing piece by piece. But anyway, be back Friday to talk about some college football games going into this weekend and give my NFL predictions. I think I did pretty good last week. But anyway, thank you for tuning in. I see you guys Friday. Peace.